What's up? Kevin's Michale Graves. Happy 17th birthday. Keep making the music that you do. Think you were meant to do it. Happy birthday.
What's up, Slam Dancers? Today on the show we have Michale Graves, who is currently on tour right now. How's tour going for you guys right now?
Tour is going excellent for us. It's been going since September 8th, and our last show is December 23rd, so it's been going for about, let's see, September to November. Wait, no, September to October, October to November, November to 3 months. So I've been on the road 3 months, so we're all a little bit insane right now. But it's going really good. It's going great. And the emphasis on this tour has been to raise the optics of what I can achieve as a performer and what the band can achieve as a unit on stage, and really raise the bar by bringing the theatrics back and reintroducing the characters and developing the characters through music and through story on the stage, and again raising the bar on what an individual can do on the stage, as you'll see tonight.
I'm looking forward to it, man. And now you guys have been on tour for 3 months. What is the best city and crowd you've experienced on this tour so far?
Oh man, I don't know. There's been a lot. Again, we approached 80 cities, 80 shows, so there's been a lot of good times. There's been a lot of great crowds and really amazing experiences. It's hard to just kind of pinpoint one. It's hard to pinpoint one. I gotta dodge that question, dude.
It's all good, man. Now, Michale Graves, you've done a lot. Just everything from having appeared in films, becoming a president of Hydraulic Entertainment in 2012. Could you explain a little bit what Hydraulic Entertainment is?
Hydraulic Entertainment is a film, music, and experiential company. We release film, video, and integrate other aspects of entertainment into the things that we do. I'm the president of the music department with my partner, Mark Allen Stewart, who's the CEO of that company. Again, we work with other artists, including myself, and put out music and art and entertainment that especially has an experiential component to it. And that's kind of the cornerstone of everything that we do. It's important that you make a connection with your fans or your consumers, if you will. Our fans are our friends and the lifeblood of what we do. And so we try to give it a much more, and we do give a much more 360-degree experience through the things that we do and innovate and develop.
Awesome, man.
And I do the music stuff.
But you've also appeared in a few films, such as Bruiser, Campfire Stories, and Perkins 14, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did you start getting into film, and how is that a little bit different than what you've been doing with the music?
I'm an old theater kid. Along with the whole I want to be a rock star music guy, came with I also want to be an actor. And it's always goes both ways. All actors usually kind of want to be musicians as well. So I've always been interested in acting and communicating and creating through that through that art form. Again, I'm an old theater kid. From the time I was very, very young, I was trained in improvisation, and acting classes, and non-regional dialect and regional dialect and stage sets and prop building and the whole nine. When I told my mother that I wanted to be a rock star, like I wanted to be an artist, she, thank God, she noticed that I, had natural talent, and she said, "All right, well, you're gonna have to be the best that you can be." So, bless my mother, every opportunity she saw in the local paper, anywhere she saw, she signed me up for. And so I was always doing something, and I had people along the way as well that would kind of nurture me and kind of push me along. And a lot of that opportunity had to do with stage, where I would also get the ability to develop my singing voice, which I always thought was shit.
Most vocalists do think that about themselves for some reason. But being in films, what do you feel like your favorite film that you've appeared in is, and why?
Probably Perkins 14. It's real hard to look at myself, whether it's in the mirror or especially on film. Perkins 14. It's a real dark film, so you can't really see me too much. So I like Perkins 14. That was a great film, even from its conception, the way that it was put together, from story to putting the film together. It was started from much like Hydraulic Entertainment is. There was a website built, and you would join the community of artists and writers and fans, and they put out the word, we're looking for a story like this, and certain people would submit their stories, and then the online forum of the community of people that were on this website would vote on the story, and then they whittled it down to 3 or 4 storylines, and then they picked the winner, which eventually became Perkins 14. They used that model, the online model, that way to cast the movie as well for the actors, and it was really great to be able to film that movie. We filmed it in Bucharest, Romania, on a movie lot that was bought by a man who was the only guy who had the film of President Ceausescu when he was shot and killed in the revolution in the 90s. You don't remember that, you're a young man, but I do. And so it was incredible to work with people that you can have as well, have a conversation with that remember that sort of thing happening. And so it was just a very cathartic experience. I wrote Best of Me on that trip and Locked Away. So a lot of great music came out of that.
Right on, man. Now, what do you feel, people have never checked out your films, which was the first one you want them to check out?
The first film, Perkins 14, I think you can get it on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I gotta check that one out.
Yeah.
Right on. Now, the current Michale Graves release is in When Worlds Collide, correct?
Well, no. But that's okay, because everybody kind of gets it wrong, because I put out so much music, and the record that I just kind of put out is like the best kept secret in the world. But yes, through this tour, I'm really pushing people towards checking out When Worlds Collide. We play a bunch of songs on, in this show from When Worlds Collide. It's a really great record of both sci-fi, horror, and it's real rock and roll. Chuck Treese, who's a prolific skateboarder and an incredible musician, plays drums on the record. So yeah, When Worlds Collide. Go get it.
Right on. And for people who don't know, you actually have a spoken word anthology, correct?
We did a spoken word record. I forget what it was called.
Nightmares, correct?
Yeah, right. So Nightmares is old poetry that I speak, and you listen to it, and there's sound effects behind it, so It's a good Halloween record.
Right on. Now, for people who haven't listened to Michale Graves before, what is the first song you recommend for people to check out to kind of get a hold of you, man?
That's a tough question. When Worlds Collide.
And what is your favorite lyrics out of that song?
When Worlds Collide, the
Yeah.
world is on the brink of a disaster.
And what does that lyric mean to you?
That the world is on the brink of a disaster.
Right on. That works for me, man. Now, what are you passionate about when it comes to music?
Everything about it. I'm passionate, especially about, as you'll see tonight, the delivery of music. It's said that music is the language of the soul, and especially because of pop culture, and it's certainly a longer answer if you wanted it to be, but because of pop culture and other aspects of the now, if you will, what's happening is there's a lot of substance being taken out of things because of technology, because of the lack of human connection, on and on. And so I think that even now it's more so important to have spirit, if you will, in music that you see in currently performing artists. But when you go back, at least for me, examples that I can tell people to go look at, like what I see is like when you look in Johnny Lydon's eyes and he's just maniacal, or you watch Jim Morrison perform and he's just, you know, especially in the period of his career where he got very much into the shamans and he started to discover about, you know, the American Indian heritage and the supernatural part. It was amazing when you watched him on stage, what he was evoking and what he was putting out. You know, Freddie Mercury, where he was just larger than life, and the way that he would move and throw his body and just wallop these incredible notes. Great musicians like that. That's what I'm trying to bring to the stage, and how I was brought up through punk rock roots and the way that I was conditioned to perform when I was in the Misfits. Now I can bring all that physicality and what I'm trying to do in a whole new way. You know, like, you know, if you took like, I don't know, Michael Jackson, Freddie Mercury, Jim Morrison, and you know, and Doyle had all three of those, you know, bodies to cut up and make one musician out of, with a little bit of Johnny Lydon, and then all of a sudden, you know, this musician like myself walks out on stage and just starts, you know, getting it like you've never seen before.
So you got a little Michael Jackson in you, huh?
I definitely do.
Dude, I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson. What do you feel your favorite Michael Jackson album is?
Well, Thriller's you know, the ultimate album. Yeah.
What's your favorite track off of Thriller?
Thriller.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one, man. I gotta say, The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. That is an excellent.
I was just
excellent
discussing
track.
how that's my least favorite song.
Oh, really?
Record, yeah.
The Girl Is Mine.
I'll have to go with Billie Jean.
What is
too,
it, the
I'm
gospel?
Oh, Billie Jean's a killer track
Great
as well.
song. Great song.
Awesome, man. Now, when you first started getting into music, you probably pulled from some early musical influences. Can you remember some of the earliest artists you were looking up to when you started wanting to be a musician?
Sure, I remember listening to Jay Giles Band and Get the Knack and Don McLean and, you know, Billy Joel, you know, Barry Manilow and Bruce Springsteen. You know, the radio was always on in the South. I was born in 1975, so by 1977, you know, my ears were open, and I heard everything, and I was always listening to the radio, so I love, you know, late 70s music, and of course as I came of age and heard 80s music, I loved that as well. All the bands that were playing back then, you know, I remember Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister, Ozzy Osbourne, the Rolling Stones, and Danzig, and again, David Bowie and Van Halen. Oh my God, just all of them, all the great bands. I was never, and I'm still not a very cliquey person, you know what I mean? I've never just, you know, I was the guy in high school. I didn't just hang out with the punk rockers. I didn't just hang out with the skinheads or the dweebs or the I hung out with everybody, you know? And it's the same sort of thing that's like in music. I listen to everything, and I listen to it non-judgmentally, and yeah.
So what is your favorite artist and album that you're currently jamming to right now?
That's a tough question. I've really been listening to a lot of Foo Fighters lately. I think that out of everything, I've been listening to a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of Foo Fighters stuff.
Awesome. Now going back to talking about punk rock and you being the Misfits, I want to ask you a question real quick. Now, what does punk rock mean to you?
Punk rock is synonymous with human liberty, and that's why you see it in so many different facets. You know, I think Ian MacKaye, someone asked him to describe punk rock, and he said, well, it's like everybody's has their own room, and you can put whatever furniture that you want in that room. That's what punk rock is. You know, I grew up through a punk rock. You know, I came through punk rock as it was a rejection of you know what the collective would have you be or say that you have to be. It's don't tell me what to say or don't tell me what to think. I'm going to say and share and think what I believe is right, what I believe my life is. And so offering things through liberty, and that's why punk rock is very American, and it's very human, and it's very all of those things. So it's whatever you want it to be. You know, I know over the years, you know, it's no longer, again, I came through, I'm old enough to remember punk rock was, you had a green mohawk, and you were from a different planet. And again, that was the expression of total freedom expressing itself through the fashion bit of it. And now that's all convoluted and changed. But the theory, if you will, you know, the ingredients that you put into it are the same thing, and that's you be whoever you want to be. Whoever you feel you are, and whoever you feel you need to be, or the things that you feel you need to do in life that are going to get you to a happy place, if you will. Whatever the fuck that is, that's what punk rock is. And if the music you make is on that yellow box with that black marker, man, then that's what you do, and that's okay. And don't let anybody tell you that ain't cool or right. As long as you feel good about it, rock on.
That is an awesome fucking answer, man. It really is. Now, you actually got to be the vocalist for the Misfits for 5 years, from 1995 to 2000, correct?
Yeah, 2001. It's arguably 2001, but whatevs.
Now, can you elaborate on kind of how that even happened? Like, how did you even get that part?
I believe that it was my natural destiny to be that guy. I walked through all the right doors at all the right time, and it was simply that, right place, right time, and capitalizing on the opportunity when it presented itself to me at a very young age.
Right on, man. Now, what is your favorite album you recorded with the Misfits?
Both are very, very different albums. So my favorite thing that we ever did was Fiend Without a Face. I love to listen to that song. Fiend Without a Face was such a stretch for us as a band. When I brought that song to those guys, they were kind of like, and that was the first time another guitarist ever played alongside Doyle. I played acoustic guitar on that track. And it was a signpost on our career of where we were going as a band when you listen to Fiend Without a Face.
Right on. Now, before you were in the Misfits, what was your favorite Misfits song?
Horror Business.
Horror Business. Right on, man. We're gonna end out this interview. We're gonna check out this band who's currently on right now.
You hear them? Yep.
Yeah, they sound like they're kicking ass. Is there anything else you'd like the slam dancers to check out?
OfficialMichaelGraves.com. Official michaelgraves.com.
The official michaelgraves.com. Alrighty, guys, you heard it. Michael Graves, who is currently on tour, and I'll be sure to check them out. Be sure to check out the current releases and a few of his short films. And we are out.